An Exciting Trip to a Pleasant Place by Apoorva. Chapter 1, The Cute One. "Aw," cried the Petersons. The Petersons' dog Rosa had just given birth to a cute little puppy. The Petersons lived on Coal Harbor Avenue in Cupertino, California. Tommy and Abby were Tim and Ava's children. Abby had just turned 10, and Tommy was going to turn 4 in a couple of months. "Let's take it to the vet right now for a checkup," Ava said sweetly to her children. "I think that's a great idea," screamed Tommy. The children both had blue eyes and blonde hair. Mom had brown eyes and blonde hair. Dad had blue eyes and brown hair. But they all had fair skin. They sat in the car. Rosa was sleeping on Tommy's lap, and the puppy was sleeping on Abby's hand. When they got to the vet's office, the puppy was sleeping on Tommy's hand. When they got to then they stood in line. Tommy, who was learning how to count, said that they were fifth in line, but they were actually sixth. Finally, it was their turn. The next morning, Abby and Tommy went to school. The last week of school went by in a flash. It was the last day of school. Tommy and Abby skipped their classroom. Who knows what happened at school? All Abby knew was that it went as quick as the snap of a finger. At the end of the day, they rushed home like usual. "We're home," they both called out. "Dad and I have some big news for you guys," Ava replied. "If Dad's home, then of course it's big news," Abby called out. Abby and Tommy sat on the couch. They scooped up Rosa and Jimmy and cuddled them on their laps. Tim said, "Okay, guys, you might not like this, but we're going on a trip." "To?" Abby started. Abby loved visiting new places. Tommy was okay with them, but he didn't enjoy long flights. "Paris, France," Abby finished. "Yes," Abby said. She always wanted to visit the Eiffel Tower. "I just want to know if we can visit the Eiffel Tower," Abby asked. "I don't see why we can't," Tim said. Abby did a little happy dance and sat down. "Are we allowed to take Rosa and Jimmy?" Tommy asked. "No, they don't allow pets." "Really?" Abby asked. "Really," Tim confirmed. When they took a flight up to Paris, France. They slept most of the way. Once they got there, they had trouble taking Tommy out of the plane because he was sleeping. Chapter 2, in Where Abby Finds a Sister. After they ate the next morning, they were going to look for some souvenirs when a girl about Abby's age came up to them and said, "Hi, my name is Adrina. I live in the village of Provence. What's your name?" The girl had fair skin, brown hair, and brown eyes. She was wearing a bright pink beret over open blackish-brown hair and a black and white striped t-shirt, a pink miniskirt, black tights with black boots, with a bright pink purse. She had a sweet voice that sounded like a bird song, with a slight French accent. "My name is Abby. This is Tommy. My mom's name is Ava. My dad's name is Tim. And we are the Petersons," Abby told Adrina. Inside, she felt like she just found a friend. "You guys must be visiting from where?" "From California, USA," Ava said. "Must be an exciting place." "Sure is, but it's not as cool as this place." "Yeah, this place is not as cool, but it's more crowded," Adrina said. "We are just looking for souvenirs." "Do you know where to find them?" Tommy asked. "Yeah, I'll show you." They were talking and looking for souvenirs when Abby said, "Do you want to have a play date at our hotel? And I can chat with your mom," Ava said. Adrina's head dropped. She frowned. Adrina said, "I don't have a mom." "What do you mean you don't have a mom?" Abby asked. "I'm an orphan," Adrina said. "My parents died in a car crash." She started crying. "Don't cry," Abby said. "Does your orphanage let people adopt kids that live there?" Adrina's face brightened up. She knew Abby was thinking. "Yes," she said. "Mom, can we adopt her?" Abby asked. "Your dad and I will have to think about it. We'll tell you by Friday." Where's Tommy? Tim asked. I don't know. Who's Tommy? Adrena asked. He's my slash our brother, Abby said. Remember that short little boy that was sticking really close to my dad? Oh, yeah. Over next week, they had many playdates and sleepovers. They were having one from Thursday to Friday because they wanted to wake up super early to ask Mom if they were dropping Adrena or not. Friday morning finally came. To Abby, it felt like 200 years or more, maybe even like 3,000. They woke up at 6:30 on Friday morning, changed into their day clothes, and brushed their teeth by 7 o'clock, when everyone started waking up. Mom, are we adopting Adrena or not? I'll tell you later when everyone is fully awake and dressed, Ava replied sleepily. An hour or two passed, and they asked again. Okay, we are adopting her as a new child in our family. Abby and Adrena squealed super loud, and everyone else covered their ears. They were super excited. They slept until 7:30 the next morning, when they got up and changed. They had a tour of the amazing sights of Paris, but their main one, also the one Abby was looking most forward to, was the Eiffel Tower. Let's go, Ava called out. Coming, they all called out. They explored the town a little, had lunch, and took a nap, changed, and left for their tour at 6 o'clock. They had to walk to a little waiting room where they waited until the tour guide checked that everyone was there and ready for the tour. When everyone was there, there were about 10 to 15 people. They left the waiting room for their tour. First, they went to the Louvre, where they saw the Mona Lisa and took a tour of the Palais Garnier, the period, and that it was an opera house. After they went to the Palace Garnier, they went to the Monument of Paris, the Arc de Triomphe. Then they went to the one and only Eiffel Tower. Abby was so excited that she did her little happy dance. They entered the elevator that took them to the top of the Eiffel Tower. It was now 8 o'clock. The city looked beautiful, like a shining light. You could see everything from the top. It was like seeing water shining in the sun, except for the fact that it was nighttime. It's so beautiful, Tim said. I know, Abby replied. They were up on the Eiffel Tower for 10 minutes. After that, the tour guide concluded their tour, and they all went to the hotel where they ate. While they were eating, they talked about how they liked the tour. They all had different opinions. The only thing that Abby talked about was the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. When they got home, they took a bath, one by one. Tommy, Abby, Adrena, Ava, Tim. They all agreed that the Eiffel Tower was the best. After they finished talking about their tour, they went to sleep. Chapter 3, A New Way of Life. As they sat down in the airplane, Adrena said, So this is how an airplane looks on the inside. I've never been in one. Now you have, Abby joked. They were so excited. I can't wait until I get to see my home. It must be awesome, Adrena said. We can even go to school together. Can you guys please be quiet? I'm trying to sleep, Tommy cried. You should know that I sleep on long airplane flights, Abby, and Adrena, please learn that about me too. Let's relax too, said Adrena. Okay. Tim and Abby and Tommy slept through most of the flight, while Abby and Adrena only slept through a quarter of the flight. They played hand games and games on the iPad, played tricks on Tommy, and packed their carry-ons after everyone else woke up. When they got home, Abby showed Adrena their house, and Adrena was amazed because it was even bigger than her orphanage. Cool, this place is awesome, she said. The rest of her life was very different from the beginning of this story. They slowly got used to having another dog strolling around the house with his mom and one more child in the family. The end.